Now, moving on. We had our Toastmaster educational about. One of those
Oh, right.
Moving on.
I'd like to say.
Our next speaker is going to be Lee Ruff, and his evaluator is Kelly Smith. Kelly, do you have guidelines?
Lee is speaking from the Company Communication Manual, number 9, Persuade with Power. His objectives are persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas, or to take some action. Appeal to the audience's interests. Use logic and emotion to support your position and avoid using notes. Time 5-7 minutes.
Actually, Lee requested his time be 8 to 10 minutes. Lee is starting his 16th year as a Toastmaster. He has walked this path in Toastmasters, and he has discovered some realizations. There are keys to mastery what you want out of Toastmasters. Steps to mastery, Lee Ruff.
What is mastery? At the heart of it, mastery is the practice and staying on your path. Now, we're in Toastmasters for a reason. When I first joined Toastmasters, I acted just like that. I was scared. Get up here, all those butterflies were flying around. As I advanced in Toastmasters, I have learned to control those butterflies. I never let go of them, I just control them. There are basically 5 steps to mastery. And the first key is to get good instruction. Now, is this a great place to get instruction on how to speak in public? Or to learn leadership skills like running a meeting, or maybe a company, or maybe it's just doing something in your church? You got to develop a support system. Toastmasters is a great support system for people that want to advance their speaking skills. Why do I stay on Toastmasters? I've been in it for a long time, but there are people in here who have been in longer than I have. Why are they still here? What's it about? It's about practice. That's the key that is really what's happening. If you don't practice, you lose it. There's an old joke about 2 Texans are in New York City and they're lost and they can't find Carnegie Hall. So they stop and they ask an elderly gentleman on the road, "How do you get to Carnegie Hall?" And the old gentleman looks at him real close and says, "Practice, practice, practice." If you don't practice, you're not going to get there. You get up in Toastmasters and you're doing table topics. What I like about table topics is you get up and you're given a subject and you don't even know what it is. You get to speak. You get to talk about anything you want. Have a good opening, a body, and your conclusion. So you get to practice that. That's what I'm practicing right now. Extemporaneous speaking. You get to tell a joke. You get to learn something from Toastmasters Educational. When you get up here, not only are you telling people in Toastmasters what's good, you're learning it yourself. How long does it take to master public speaking? How long does it take to master leadership skills? How long do you expect to live? That's how long it's going to take. Another key is surrender. You got to surrender yourself. There are no experts in Toastmasters. We're not experts. We're all learners. And the day you stop learning is probably the day you're not breathing anymore. You have to learn all the time. Take John, for instance. John, a longtime member of Toastmasters. Martha, a longtime member of Toastmasters. They keep coming back because they know if they don't come back and practice their skills, they're not going to be efficient at it. Potentiality, that's another key. Potentiality is mental. Jack Nicklaus is a great golfer, and he says 50% of golfing is visualization. I visualized when I came here today, getting up in front of you and speaking to you. That's what I thought. 50% of it was visualization. He says 40% is setup. He sets up the swing. It's the same thing with Toastmasters. Set yourself up for success. How are you going to do that? Get a mentor. There are lots of people in here who have a lot of experience and can mentor you and set you up on the right path. And 10% is the swing. What is the swing in Toastmasters? Getting up and doing it. Sure, we're all afraid to get up and speak in public. But if you get up and you do it enough, you'll get better. Now, the reason I came here was to demonstrate something. I only came here to tell a joke. That's the only reason I came today. Now, Rich came up and gave a great joke. He personalized it, which was even better. Seems that there was a photographer that was assigned to cover a huge forest fire, but there was so much smoke there, he couldn't see anything to get a good picture. So he called his editor and he says, "Run an airplane so I can get up in the sky and take a picture of this thing." So his editor said, "Done. There's an airplane waiting for you at the airport." He rolls up to this small rural airport, and there's a plane waiting. He gathers up his gear and he gets in the plane and says, "Take off." He says, "Climb up, go on the north side of the fire, and then make 3 or 4 low passes so I can take pictures." That guy said, "Take pictures? Take pictures? Well, that's what I do. I'm a photographer. I take pictures." "You mean you're not my instructor?" "Oh, not good." That's what it's about. Just getting up here and talking. The 5th and final key is going to the edge. Now, I don't mean you go jump off a cliff or something like that, but you make a commitment. And then you take that action. And what's that action? Come to Toastmasters meetings. Practice. Practice what you're going to do. Practice your skills. Improve yourself. Grow as a person. Mastery is at the heart is practice. Mastery is staying on your path. Be a learner. Your whole life, be a learner. I want to tell you a little story that I heard a long time ago. Dikogoro Kina was the founder of judo. When he was old and near death, he gathered up all his followers and he says, "I want to be buried in the belt of a beginner. I want to be buried in a white belt." All of you, and any of you who don't know about judo, you have these divisions of belts and you go all the way to a 12th degree black belt. He was the master of this, but he said, "I want to be buried in the white belt because I'm going to a place and I'm going to be a learner." I always think of that man. Here is the master of judo, willing to become a beginner, a learner. For all of you who walk the path of mastery, are you willing to wear your white belt? It's Toastmasters.